Hey, my name is May, like the month, and today I'm going to be doing a updated Q&A, skincare routine, and a get ready with me all at once. It's essentially the 3-in-1 shampoo, body wash, conditioner of videos, so I hope you enjoy. This video is sponsored by Youth to the People, which I'm really jazzed for. I've been using Youth to the People for probably close to a year now. It started with their Deep Moisture Cream and it just expanded. I've tried almost everything in the line and everything just agrees with my skin, which I love. And you all know that my skin has been a little iffy. It's acne prone, it's sensitive, it's combo, and to top it all off, I have hyperpigmentation as well. And so yeah, it's been interesting, but with using Youth to the People, it's been lovely, and I highly recommend them as they're vegan, cruelty-free, and just chef's kiss. So the first thing I go into is the Kale Green Tea and Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser. It helps take off makeup, it cleanses the pores and all that good stuff. You can see how much I love it. This is my second bottle, I think. So I take a half pump and put it all over my face. So I need water. Okay, let me go do that. As you can see, I still have leftover waterproof mascara from last night. All right, let's answer some questions. So the first question is, why did I move out of the city? So as you all know, I moved out of Toronto, and I'm gonna wash this off now. So as I was saying, I have been in Toronto, or I was in Toronto for like 6 to 7 years, and I am a huge fan of change and just trying something new. And with quarantine and lockdown going on, I was stuck in my tiny apartment just by myself with me and Latte, and it felt like I was going in a hamster wheel like over and over and over again. So I decided, let's just go. It's time to leave, and that's why I did it. And the main reason why I wanted to move as well is because I just wanted to be closer to my family. Next thing I'm going to use is the Adaptogen Soothe Hydrated Activated Mist. This just has like a hydrating quality too, and I love to use it like pre and post makeup. Couple spritzes of that. Next thing I'm going to use is the Dream Eye Cream. It smooths, hydrates, and firms. It has goji stem cells, ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin C. So it helps with fine lines, and I find that having a nice eye cream is really good, especially if you're using like under eye concealer after, so it doesn't crease or it doesn't just like pull at the lines, especially if you're putting like pressed powder over it. Just do a little bit of that with my ring finger. Next question I get is, do I ever struggle with body confidence? All the time. All the time. If you've been following me for a while, you would know that I've gotten sober. I'm almost 2 years sober, which is crazy to say, and not only has like my mental health improved and just my overall health improved, my looks have changed quite drastically. It's been interesting going through different versions of myself and like always constantly being in flux and having to just accept who I am. But I'm really happy with how I look, and this question could have been also like geared towards like me being bald and me being covered in tattoos, but for me, I feel most like myself like this. When I have interviews, people ask me, they're like, what's one thing that like you want people to know about you? And for me, it's that like the way I look isn't a cry for help. It isn't me wanting to get attention. It isn't me just like going for shock value. The way I look right now is the way I feel most normal, if that makes any sense. Like I see people like passing by me or like on the public transit, and these just like normal people, and I just feel like them. I just feel like one of everybody else because I'm so comfortable with the way I am, and I'm so happy with how I turned out. There's some days where I look in the mirror and I'm just like not entirely loving the way I look or like what I see in the mirror, but I know that feeling will pass. Like all feelings pass. Like this self-confidence thing, but it'll pass, and then I'll be feeling like a hot bee very, very soon. But yeah, body confidence. Yes, I do struggle with that. I applied the Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream. It has kale, spinach, and hyaluronic acid in it. I love using it as a day cream because it's super lightweight and it's great for my combo skin because I do get quite oily in the T-zones, but it doesn't skimp out on any of the hydration. It just makes me feel like I have skin. Supple, soft skin. All right, that's essentially my 4-step routine in the morning. And then I go ahead and I use a little bit of SPF. Next question I get. My favorite restaurant in Toronto. I miss this restaurant every single day since I moved out. It is Soothe in Chinatown. I'm terrible at directions, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on like Dundas and Baldwin, if those two even correlate. The people who run the restaurant, I consider them my uncles. My parents have been going to that restaurant since they were in their early 20s. And I was essentially raised there too, because we kept on going every single week ever since I was born, and me and my sister. We just have so many fond memories of that restaurant. And ooh, their noodle soup and their pan-fried dumplings and their black bean clams and their ifu noodles, it's so good. I highly, highly recommend it. I'm taking the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I just dot it all over my hyperpigmentation active acne. For me and my everyday makeup, I try not to wear like a full face of foundation. I just spot conceal where need be. So the next question is the green thing on my chest a piercing? It is. Okay, right there. I've had this piercing. I consider myself one of the lucky ones, because with surface piercings, it does have a high rate of rejecting out of the body, which is the way of life. And I've had mine for, I think, close to, wow, maybe like 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. I was working as a barista on Queen West, and the store beside me was a piercing and tattoo studio. And I remember on my last day as a barista, one of the piercers there was like, hey, like let's celebrate, piercings on me. But the catch is that she had to choose the piercing that was on my body. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm down for anything. Like, look at me, I'm down for anything. So I remember finishing my shift, my last shift as a barista, and went over to the piercing place, and she was like, yeah, okay, lie down, we're putting this on you. And yeah, never left my body, and I've loved it ever since. I will say the healing process is super easy. Just try not to get it caught on too many things. This was back when I had hair, so when I had long hair, it would get caught on things, and it's a very uncomfy feeling, but it is definitely one of my favorite piercings. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use some bronzer just to warm up my face. I struggle a little bit with foundation when it comes to the summer months, because I put SPF all over my head, that my head is like 3 shades lighter than the rest of my body. So because I can't put like a deeper foundation shade all over my head, what I do is I try to match it as best as possible, and then I just warm up the perimeters with contour and bronzer just to match it as best as possible. So for that, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow Face Sculpt and Highlight in Fair Medium. What would you consider a perfect day? Perfect day for me is I wake up. That's quite poignant of me if I just stopped it there. No, a perfect day for me is I wake up around like 5:30, do some yoga, manage to hit a couple of crazy poses. That is like the best endorphin rush I've ever like experienced before, is when you worked so hard to stick a pose. It just, oh, my heart. So I would say that would be my perfect day. Go thrifting. I miss thrifting a lot. Hopefully everything opens up back soon. Thrifting, I would have to say a bubble tea would be amazing as well. I honestly am such a simple, sexy girl. Like anything, something like that. Bubble tea, thrift store. The weather is like a light jacket optional. Like you kind of go outside and you like don't feel a difference in the temperature. That's my perfect temperature. Maybe like some form of nature would be nice, like a beach or like waterfall or something. That'd be cool as well. For blush, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand in Pinkgasm. Saucy. This blush like blew up all over TikTok and I had to get it for myself, and it's, yeah, no, it looks to the hype. It really does. The next question is, would I get another kitten slash cat? Truth be told, I would. I think Latte would really benefit with a friend, just like how I benefit from her. I want to get the house in order. I want to have my finances in place because they're like children, right? You need to make sure they're in the right environment, and then you have everything set up and prepared for them. So yeah, in the future, I'm definitely gonna get another cat for Latte. I've introduced her to dogs before, and maybe it's my bad. Maybe I shouldn't have introduced her to like a Shiba Inu on the first go, because that was, yeah, no, she didn't love that. But I think any animal that's smaller than her, she doesn't have a problem with. So like maybe getting a kitten, like adopting a kitten and just having it grow up would be like a nice gradual time. I like to take the excess and just like putting it right underneath. Blends in. For brows, I'm going to be using the fluffified, okay, yeah, period, brow gem. Tips to fight urges to break sobriety. Oh, that's a good question. I would have to say, for me personally, again, I don't speak for everybody's sobriety journey because everybody is different. For me, how I fight the urge to drink is to not involve myself in any environment that involves drinking. And I know that's tough, just like, again, like not being around friends or like not going to parties and saying no to things, but it's the best for me. I've removed myself and said no to so many events and so many hangouts because I wasn't mentally prepared to do that. And in terms of like, you know, being in quarantine and staying at home nowadays, yeah, because that's what I used to do before. But now since I'm in quarantine and, you know, boredom is very real, I think what I do to fight the urge is to just keep busy. I'm very lucky to have a garden where I can just like invest my time in. For me, yoga has been an absolute lifesaver because like that's my time for myself. Like I'm away from screens, I'm away from everything, and I always feel better after. That's the one thing about yoga as well. It's like the reason why I keep motivated with yoga is because like the feeling after when I've done like a full hour practice with Deanna is again one of the best feelings. So keeping busy, that's what I have to say, and I know that's easier said than done, but once you find something that you're passionate about, it won't feel like time has gone by. The next question I got, oh yeah, for freckles, I'm gonna be using, I've been really into just like soft, diffused freckles, so I'm gonna be using just a regular eyeliner brush and the Mary Jane from Mel Cosmetics. I'm using a mix of Rubia and Marie. They're both on like the cool side of brown, so it'll look very natural on the face. What's my favorite part of the tattoo experience? When it's done. Okay, beyond the point. I would have to say my favorite part of the tattoo experience is, yeah, when it's all done, of course, but when I get to peel off the second skin and then you get to see the design after. It's such a cool experience. Like, take it off, you have all that gunk on there, and then you wipe it off and you get to see the new tattoo on your body and how like crisp. For me, like I don't have any color tattoos, but like when I see my friends take off color tattoos, it's so fun. You just get to see that bright color and oh. But for me, it's like black lines and shading, and I get to look at it close up because for me in tattoos, once I'm done, I just want to get out of there. I don't like really inspect. I'm like, yeah. Just put on me. I'm gonna go and take a nap for 3 hours. Do I view myself as a successful person? When I saw this question, I actually had like a deep, hard think to myself. I'm like, am I successful? And I think the conclusion that I came to is that there are many facets of what people would consider successful. There's like financially successful, which I think is the first thing that people think of. And then there's the other layers of being successful is like mentally and physically and emotionally successful. And for me, I would consider myself comfortable, and I would consider the successes that I've had just like putting myself out there in the world and people understanding me and people being inspired by me and my art and my makeup and who I am as a person. I consider that as a success, right? And the fact that I can make money for myself looking like this and just breaking those stereotypes of being a heavily tattooed bald person, I consider that a success also. I don't think I'm ever gonna be, oh, this is gonna sound morbid, but I don't think I'm ever gonna be happy with how I am in terms of just like, yep, that's it, I'm done, I'm good. I always think that I'm gonna keep on pushing myself and seeing how much that I can do. Success can be defined in so many different ways, and the way that I see it, I'm on the right track. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyes now. I'm gonna be using the Revolution Beauty, it literally just says eyeliner, but that's what I'm gonna use. Kind of just like, I kind of put my hands like crossed like that, just to have some stability. For sparkles, I'm going to be using the Melt Cosmetics Glitter Pot in Burnout. How has an influencer changed my life? In every way possible. As most of you know, I went to art school to become a drawer painter. And I originally lived my life thinking that I wanted to be behind the scenes when it comes to being creative in art. Like, I wanted to be a photographer, I wanted to be a producer, a stylist, a painter, a drawer, where people can see my work, but at the end of the day they would have no idea who I am. I thought that was really neat. And I originally didn't go into like Instagram or any of my social media thinking that I would be the person I am now, that so many of you lovely people would be watching me and take interest in me and me as a person. There are pros and cons. I wouldn't have the opportunities that I've had in the past couple of years if it wasn't being an influencer. I wouldn't have met a lot of like my internet friends, which has been amazing. And I think one con that, you know, people have discussed is that there's just a layer of privacy that's been taken away from me. One of my favorite looks, just like aesthetics in general, is like walking out of the club at 4 a.m. That's like those like paparazzi photos of celebrities when they're just like done with the club, when they're a little bit sweaty and their makeup and their glitter is kind of haphazard. That I think is so beautiful. Another question that I've gotten is like, what's my least favorite part of my makeup routine? I would have to say nose contour. I am not the best at it. I think contour in general is something that I struggle with because I'm bald. Yes, I understand. You've heard this before. But hear me out. For me and contouring, I just have like so much of a blank canvas, and I can't hide, like if I bring my contour like up to here, people can tell. If I bring it too low, then my face looks low. And like with nose contour, I'm still figuring out like what works for my nose shape, because I have quite a bulbous nose and it's quite flat, as well as just how can I bring out that feature without making it look like two stripes and a white stripe in the middle. But I'm learning, I'm slowly figuring it out. Just gotta watch a couple more TikTok tutorials and hopefully I'll get it. I'm gonna be using the Morphe Sweet Tea lip liner and the Rare Beauty lip mousse in Fearless. I get this question quite a lot. I think this is the most asked question in the Q&A is what's my sexuality? I'm bisexual. I've dated men, women, non-binary people, and I think that's beautiful. Your girl has options and it's lovely. Yeah, I'm bisexual. That's who I am. Sweet Tea lip liner. Blur it all out like It's next to nothing. Throw it on the center. Alright, last step is I'm gonna go back in with the Adaptogen Soothe and Hydrate Activated Mist by Youth for the People, which uses a setting spray. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed me talking your ear off. My goodness. I got a lot of questions on my Q&A, so I can definitely do a part 2 if you want. And I hope you enjoyed this mini tutorial. Thank you so much to Youth for the People for sponsoring this video. There's gonna be a link in my description and a discount code as well if you're interested. After I'm done filming this video, I'm gonna go back to my old Q&A. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Because I know I did a Q&A maybe like a year ago, and it's going to be interesting to see how much I've changed as a person. We're all changing, we're all growing, we're all being the comfiest and coziest versions of ourselves, and that makes me happy. Alright, I'm gonna go. I don't want to talk your ear off anymore. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all more than you will ever know. I hope you have a stunning day, and I'll talk to you soon.